in the ice, like a huge entrance to a cave, but slanted going down. And he said, I think it was at least, Linda, 200 feet in diameter.
What happens when scientists stumble upon something truly astonishing in one of the most remote places on Earth? Well, you get groundbreaking discoveries as this mysterious prehistoric structure in Antarctica leaves experts baffled. Join me as in today's video, I'm going to reveal the incredible story behind this unknown structure that has scientists around the world buzzing. Buried structure in Antarctica revealed. Back in 2018, Linda Moulton Howe, who had already snagged an Emmy, dropped a bombshell from a guy called Spartan 1. This guy, a former Navy SEAL, spilled the beans on some top-secret mission from 2003, where he and his crew stumbled upon a freaky octagon structure buried under the Antarctic ice, just a stone's throw from Beardmore Glacier, about 93 miles from McMurdo Station. They were drilling through 2 miles of ice, and then bam, there was this massive structure, as black as the night and oddly warm inside. Think cozy, 68 to 72 degree vibes, with lights glowing from the floor to the ceiling. The walls were all decked out in weird hieroglyphs, looking like some kind of Egyptian Mayan mashup, but not quite either. This place sprawled over 62 acres, and they had only scratched the surface. Linda had been down this road before, talking about other Navy whistleblowers and wild stuff like hidden facilities and UFOs flying over the icy desert. Antarctica still had its secrets, mostly hidden under a mountain of ice. Who knew what else was out there? A mysterious pyramid-shaped structure. Antarctica seems to have a massive pyramid-shaped mountain right in the middle of the Ellsworth Range. This behemoth looks like it's been lifted straight out of Egypt, sparking a whole lot of buzz and some pretty out-there theories. Imagine a 2-kilometer square base, just like the Great Pyramid of Giza had everyone whispering about ancient civs and alien architects. But hold up, before you go claiming aliens did it, the science squad has weighed in. Turns out, this isn't some pharaoh's summer home or extraterrestrial Airbnb. It's a natural formation, a pyramidal peaked mountain shaped by none other than our relentless earth sculptors, glaciers. These icy artists carve up mountains into sharp, pointy pyramids, not just here, but places like Iceland and the Faroe Islands too. Yet, this icy pyramid, looming in one of the most remote spots on Earth, keeps the conspiracy theorists on their toes. Some are dead set on it being leftovers from a long-lost civilization from eons ago, when Antarctica was less ice cube and more beach resort. Despite these wild guesses, experts are sticking to their guns. It's all natural, crafted by ice and wind over countless millennia. Captain Robert Falcon Scott's Discovery Hut. You wouldn't believe it, but Captain Robert Falcon Scott's old hut at Hut Point near McMurdo Station is like stepping straight into a time machine, straight back to 1902. This little wooden time capsule from Scott's first icy romp, the Discovery Expedition, was supposed to be a cozy hideout for him and his crew. Spoiler, it wasn't. They pretty much shivered their way back to their ship, the RRS Discovery, because that Australian prefab job was no match for the Antarctic freeze. Fast forward a bit, and who waltzes in but Ernest Shackleton during the Nimrod expedition from 1907 to 1909. He used the hut as a storage closet for all his Polar Trek goodies. Post-1917, everyone kind of forgot about the place until 1956, when some Americans stumbled upon it, finding it packed with early 20th century relics and even some prehistoric seal snacks. Now, thanks to the Antarctic Treaty and the Antarctic Heritage Trust, Scott's Discovery Hut is under wraps, being preserved so everyone can get a peek at what real polar explorer vibes were like. Trust me, it's better than it sounds. The endurance. The Endurance, helmed by the legendary Sir Ernest Shackleton during the 1914-1917 Imperial Trans-Antarctic Expedition, was more like a sitting duck than a ship. Built in Norway and originally named Polaris, this vessel was meant for icy waters, but definitely not for wrestling with the hardcore pack ice of the Weddell Sea. In January 1915, the ice clamped down on the Endurance like a bear trap, and for 10 whole months, it had the ship in a death grip. Despite the crew's muscle and hustle, the ice was the boss, eventually crushing the ship's hull. On October 27, 1915, Shackleton played the ultimate captain card, telling his guys to abandon the ship before it took a dive into the icy abyss on November 21, 1915. But wait, the saga doesn't end there. Shackleton and his crew of 28 tough nuts weren't about to give up. They camped out on ice floes, drifting around until they could make a break for Elephant Island in lifeboats. Shackleton then pulled off a wild stunt, sailing to South Georgia Island to fetch help. And guess what? He nailed it, saving every last one of his men. Fast forward over a century, and in 2022, the Endurance was found chilling under the Antarctic ice, still rocking its name and the iconic star on its stern. What a monumental memento from one of the gnarliest survival tales ever. Ancient humans lived in Antarctica. Let's get one thing straight. Antarctica was never a hotspot for any ancient human hangouts. Dream all you want, but humans didn't chill there in prehistoric times. No way to get there, no land bridges or anything. And let's not forget, the last time Antarctica was even remotely livable was about 35 million years ago. Back then, sure, it was a lush rainforest, not the icy wasteland we know now. But humans, Homo sapiens, popped up around 350,000 years ago, and our buddy Homo erectus about 2 million years ago. So, imagining them in ancient Antarctica is a stretch. Fast forward to the Greeks around 350 BC, especially Aristotle, who first toyed with the idea of a massive land down under. But proof? Nah, they didn't bother hunting it down or moving in. The first real human touchpoint with Antarctica was around 600 AD by Polynesians, likely the Maori, who might have bumped into the frosty place, as their oral histories hint at a mysterious southern land. Marine fossils. About 299 to 251 million years back, some crazy volcanic shenanigans knocked off a whopping 90% of all critters on Earth. Talk about a rough day, right? We lost over 95% of our ocean buddies and more than 70% of the land gang. Some eggheads think this mass wipeout took a leisurely 15 million years, but others are betting it all went down in a snappy 20,000 years. So, there's this squad, led by the intrepid Branson, with his pals, John Isbell, Rudolph Serbay, and Edith L. Taylor from the University of Kansas. They roped in Patricia Ryberg, who knows a thing or two about ancient plants, and Brian Atkinson, the newbie who digs Cretaceous seed plants. For Brian, it was his first chilly rodeo in Antarctica and only his second time camping. At the tail end of 2017, these 7 musketeers jetted off to the icy wilds, setting up shop between the Shackleton and McGregor glaciers. For 21 bone-chilling days, they hopped around in choppers, dodging sketchy blades. Despite the frosty odds, Branson called it one of their best digs ever. Wild, right? When did modern explorers discover Antarctica? Believe it or not, a bunch of European explorers, including the legendary Captain Cook, hit the seas centuries later, searching high and low, but never really hitting the jackpot when it came to spotting the Antarctic mainland. The big discovery moment for Antarctica is usually slapped on around 1820, although the history nerds can't even pin down who got their eyes on it first. The real action kicked off in 1821, when this ballsy sea captain named John Davis claimed he and his crew hopped ashore to chase after some seals. Fast forward to the late 1890s, and you've got more legit landings popping up, with ships getting stuck in the icy grip of Antarctica over the winter. Then came the so-called heroic age of Antarctic exploration, right at the turn of the 20th century. This was when the real daredevils and eggheads started throwing themselves into the frozen unknown, sometimes not making it back. The first real base was thrown together in 1903 on Laurie Island and is still ticking today as the granddaddy of bases. It wasn't until 1944 that the big boys set up the first long-term bases on the mainland, with a whole bunch of scientific teamwork exploding in the 1950s. Meteorites on Antarctica. Antarctica is the hotspot for space rock hunters, with a whopping 45,000 meteorites already snagged from its icy grip. This place is a goldmine because of its chilly, dry conditions and vast stretches of blue ice, perfect for keeping these cosmic treasures well preserved and making them pop against the stark white backdrop. These dark visitors from the void are ancient, holding secrets from the dawn of the solar system around 4.6 billion years ago. Studying these rocks is like having VIP access to the early solar system's backstage, helping scientists piece together how planets and asteroids came to be. Antarctica is not just randomly littered with meteorites. They've got these special spots called meteorite stranding zones, where the ice and landscape conspire to bring these rocks up to the surface. Thanks to some slick satellite data and machine learning tech, scientists are hot on the trail of these zones, making it a breeze to scoop up more space souvenirs. With 45,000 finds already in the bag and an estimated 300,000 still out there, Antarctica's meteorite hunt is far from over. It's a race to unearth these hidden gems and unlock more cosmic clues about our universe and Earth's history. 1 million-year-old DNA sample lurking beneath Antarctic seafloor. Tucked away beneath the seafloor, scientists have hit the jackpot with DNA from ancient micro-critters, some of it a whopping million years old. It is the oldest DNA ever found, hanging out in seafloor mud, topping a previous record from the Arctic's chill at a mere 650,000 years. During a 2019 deep-sea gossip sesh led by the International Ocean Discovery Program in the Scotia Sea, these researchers scooped up sedimentary ancient DNA, cetaDNA. And let me tell you, it's been chilling there, perfectly preserved, thanks to Antarctica's freezer-like conditions, scarce oxygen, and zero UV rays to mess things up. Most of this ancient genetic loot comes from diatoms, those tiny but mighty phytoplankton still bossing the marine food chain today. And here's the kicker. Around 540,000 years ago, when the Earth decided to turn up the heat a bit, these diatoms were living it up, multiplying like crazy. This blast from the past isn't just cool trivia, it's key to figuring out how today's climate chaos might shake up future ecosystems, especially in dicey spots like Antarctica. 10. Discovery of hidden world under Antarctic ice. You won't believe this wild discovery under the Larsen ice shelf in Antarctica. So, there's this underground river, right? Deep down, like 1,640 feet below the icy top. Researchers using a high-tech hot water hose just stumbled upon a whole secret world down there. At first, all they saw were these blurry flecks messing up the camera feed. But once they cleared up the view, boom! A bunch of tiny shrimp-like critters called amphipods were chilling in their jagged cave hangout. Satellite snaps had already hinted at some weird groove in the ice, tipping off these sharp-eyed researchers about the hidden river. The lead brainiac, Hugh Horgan, was like discovering a new world, and Craig Stevens, the ocean dude, was all hyped, saying these little swimmers prove there's some serious life action going on beneath the freeze. Everyone was jumping around, stoked about the find, because sure, people guessed there were secret rivers under there, but nobody knew they were packed with life. This digs deep into how much we don't know about Antarctica's spooky underwater haunts. Factorian Deep. This adventurer, Victor Vescovo, went full-on Indiana Jones under the sea and came back with the sickest map ever of Antarctica's Southern Ocean. He found the deepest nook down there, dubbed the Factorian Deep. Yeah, a whopping 24,400 feet, 7,137 meters underwater, practically in the abyss. So, Victor was cruising around in his sub, the Limiting Factor, cool name, huh? And in 2019, he nailed it by charting the entire South Sandwich Trench. And where do you think he stumbled upon this watery chasm? Right under the nose of the 60th parallel, smack where the Atlantic meets the Southern Oceans. Flash forward. This map was dropped on June 7th in Scientific Data, thanks to the tag team of the International Bathymetric Chart of the Southern Ocean, IBCSO, and the Nippon Foundation GEBCO Seabed 2030 project. They've covered over 18.5 million square miles, doubling what those old maps showed, but we've still only scoped out 23% with the latest tech. And why should we care? Well, besides making sailing safer, this map is like a treasure map for science geeks. It highlights underwater mountains teeming with life and helps track how our planet's heat shuffles around underwater. Antarctic blooms. Those smarty pants at Brown University flipped the script on everything we thought we knew about the Antarctic ice. On November 17, 2022, they dropped a bombshell study in Frontiers in Marine Science, showing that phytoplankton are not just surviving under the Antarctic sea ice, they're throwing a full-blown party. Led by the sharp Christopher Horvat, these researchers weren't just shooting in the dark. They got their inspiration from similar freaky findings in the Arctic and decided to take the plunge. They decked out their deep-diving floats with all the tech to measure chlorophyll A. That's the magic green stuff plants use to cook food via photosynthesis. They even checked out light scattering to catch these sneaky phytoplankton in the act. And guess what? Almost every single float these brainiacs sent under the ice came back with tales of massive phytoplankton blooms partying it up before the ice even had a chance to say goodbye. They're estimating that over half of the Antarctic's chill lounge could be hosting these undercover raves. This is big news because phytoplankton are like the life of the ocean's food party, and if they're thriving in these supposed no-go zones, who knows what other critters might be crashing the party. Plus, they're sucking up carbon like it's going out of style, which is a game changer for how we think about trapping carbon down there in the cold. Doomsday Glacier. Those underwater robots poking around Antarctica's Doomsday Glacier just served us a chilling scoop. Turns out, Thwaites Glacier, this beast the size of Florida, is melting into the ocean like ice cream on a hot day, and it's happening way faster than we thought. These bots, diving into the icy depths, found that Thwaites isn't only shedding pounds, it's on a full-blown crash diet, losing a whopping 50 billion tons of ice every year. That's double the meltdown from 30 years ago. If this bad boy goes belly up, we're looking at sea levels rising 3 to 10 feet globally. Thwaites is practically hanging by a thread, or should I say, by its fingernails, as the experts put it. The seafloor maps these robot spies brought back show that back in the day, Thwaites retreated way faster than it is now. So, if it lets go of its current icy grip on those grounding points, we could see a rapid retreat replay, and trust me, it won't be pretty. The world's largest iceberg, A76A. The colossal iceberg, A76A, that mammoth block of ice roaming the seas like it owns the place, is now cruising straight into its icy grave. This behemoth, stretching a whopping 84 miles long and 16 miles wide, broke away from Antarctica's Ron ice shelf back in May 2021. It's been chilling in the Drake Passage, that deep slice of water between Cape Horn and the South Shetland Islands. Normally, these icy giants get swept away fast by the mighty Antarctic Circumpolar Current, ACC, that relentless river in the sea that encircles the globe. They're supposed to head north into warmer waters and just melt away. But not our A76A. Nope. After drifting a cool 1,250 miles, it's still mostly in one piece. But don't be fooled. Its days are numbered. Smaller currents are in on the action too, chipping away at its frosty edges. Although how they work, their magic is a bit of a mystery. Remember A68A? That record holder met a watery end thanks to these sneaky currents shifting out of the blue. As A76A edges further into the Drake Passage, who knows what's in store for this icy wanderer? Largest fish nursery, discovered beneath the Weddell Sea in Antarctica. The gang on the RV Polar Stern icebreaker was floored when they stumbled upon a whopping 60 million icefish nests chilling on the Weddell Sea floor, Antarctica. It's like hitting the jackpot in the frosty depths. Each of these ghostly guarded nests marks the biggest fish nursery bash known to humans. The sharp-eyed duo, Outen Perzer from the Alfred Wegener Institute and his ace grad student, Lillian Boehringer, caught sight of this wild scene using the hefty Ocean Floor Observation and Bathymetry System, OFOBS, a monster 1-ton camera they dragged behind their ship. Spread out over 93 square miles and cozying up about 10 inches apart, these icy bowls carved in the mud are home sweet home for about 1,700 eggs each. And here's the kicker. They found this mammoth colony in a toasty upwelling, perfect for the baby icefish to munch on zooplankton before hitting their breeding stride. Published in Current Biology, this find is more than cool. It's crucial, likely serving up a feast for the local Weddell seals. With the colony edges kissing this warm water buffet, the crew dropped cams to keep an eye on this bizarre underwater block party, planning a reunion in April 2022. 16. City-size lake found miles below Antarctica's biggest ice sheet. Some brainiacs just hit the jackpot beneath Antarctica. After buzzing over the icy wasteland for 3 solid years, they've stumbled upon Lake Snow Eagle, tucked away under a whopping 2 miles of frost in the East Antarctic ice sheet's nosebleed heights. This hidden gem is sprawled across 143 square miles in a canyon, deep enough to hide your secrets. This icy behemoth isn't just another frozen puddle, it's a treasure chest filled with sediments dating back a mind-blowing 34 million years, way older than the ice itself. Imagine all of Antarctica's deep, dark history, from its icy birth through countless cold snaps locked up down there. Now these clever clogs are all pumped to drill through miles of ice to get their hands on that ancient muck. They're even talking about setting up a polar station right on top of it. If they pull this off, they might unravel how old Mother Earth has been handling her chilly business and what all our heating up the planet is doing to her icy caps. Simultaneous polar heat waves. Both poles just got absolutely roasted with heat waves like we've never seen. I'm not kidding. Temperatures shot through the roof, hitting record-smashing highs. It's wild out there. Over at Antarctica, on March 18th, things were heating up big time. We're talking 8.6 degrees above the norm, with Zucchelli Station hitting a scorching 44.6 degrees. Yeah, that's no typo. Meanwhile, Concordia Station was almost partying at a balmy 10 degrees, nearly 40 degrees above what it usually is this time of year. The Russian Vostok Station soared to a 0 degrees Celsius. That's 27 degrees Celsius hotter than its highest ever. Up north, the Arctic wasn't left out of the action either. Temperatures there were a sizzling 6 degrees above average, with spikes going all the way up to 50 degrees near the North Pole. Experts think an atmospheric river and a stubborn heat dome caused the Antarctic freakout, While it's tricky to pin this madness solely on climate change, scientists are banging the drum, warning us these crazy temps could be the new norm if we don't slash those greenhouse gases. And oh, on February 25th, Antarctica's sea ice hit its lowest since records began in 1979. Remains of 90-million-year-old rainforest discovered under Antarctic ice. 90 million years back, West Antarctica wasn't just a chunk of ice, but a buzzing rainforest, just like what you'd see in modern New Zealand. Researchers digging near Pine Island Glacier hit the jackpot with a sediment core that spilled the tea on this ancient, leafy paradise. Back when dinosaurs were in their heyday, this place had a mild vibe, with temperatures around 54 degrees. That's like Seattle weather, and summer days peaking at 66 degrees Celsius. Despite the sun dipping out for a 4-month polar night, the area still got rain on par with what Wales sees today. Wild, right? The core was packed with fossil roots and old-school plant stuff, showing these researchers in 2017 that Antarctica's old look was due to sky-high CO2 levels, somewhere between 1,020 and 1,180 ppm. No wonder it was so toasty. This ancient hotspot reminds us how potent greenhouse gases are and why our icy sheets matter big time today. 19. Long-lost Stone Age megastructure. Jacob Geersen, that sharp marine geologist from the Leibniz Institute, sailed the Baltic Sea in 2021, teaching some bright-eyed students on a field course. It was the dead of night, and they were mapping the seabed when boom, they hit the jackpot in the Bay of Mecklenburg. They stumbled upon this massive stone wall, stretching a good half-mile. And it wasn't just any rubble. They called it the Blinker Wall, a relic straight from the Stone Age. At first, Geersen thought it was Mother Nature's handiwork, a mere rock formation. But no, after chewing the fat with some archaeologists, the plot thickened. This wasn't just a pile of stones, it was a meticulously crafted hunter's dream, likely put together by prehistoric folks around 10,000 to 11,000 years ago. They used this wall to corral reindeer. Imagine that. Archaeologist Berit Eriksson was a tough sell, skeptical at first, but even she had to admit this was the work of human hands. This find, it was a game changer, showing just how crafty those Stone Age ancestors were, building megastructures for their hunts. A bygone Antarctic sea monster. While dinosaurs like the badass Cryolophosaurus ellioti were ruling the roost on land, the seas near Antarctica were swimming with their own brand of monsters. Take this beast of a plesiosaur they dug up on Seymour Island, part of the legendary fossil hotspot along the Antarctic Peninsula. Described in 2019, this chunky boy, likely from the southern hemisphere's Aristonectes clan, wasn't your typical slim-necked sea noodle. No, this fellow sported a sturdier head and a shorter neck, stretching close to 40 feet long and tipping the scales at a whopping 15 tons. This fossil wasn't just another set of old bones. It lived just a heartbeat, okay? 30,000 years before the monstrous asteroid smackdown, the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event that wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs and a whole bunch of other big critters, marking the end of the Mesozoic era. This hulking sea monster hints that the Antarctic waters were bustling with life, showing a marine ecosystem that was living large until the very end. What are your thoughts on this astonishing discovery? The Challenger Deep. Let's head toward the ultimate bottomless pit in the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. The most futuristic, secretive, and the planet's darkest place, the Challenger Deep, opens its door to an exciting new world. Plunging over 36,000 feet, this abyss is so deep it feels like the Earth's own secret portal. Due to intense pressure and the absence of light, one cannot be surprised that people do not visit often. In 1960, Jacques Picard and Don Walsh were the first to get to this incredible depth in the Bathyscaphe Trieste. The bioluminescent alien-like creatures inhabiting the sea shine with neon colors, hinting at the possibility of extraterrestrials living in the dark trenches. Could this tremendous gulf be Stargate, a cosmic wormhole that points to another dimension or a parallel universe? Imagine a world where aquatic monsters the size of a palace fight with aliens over a card game of poker. Sedona Vortexes, Arizona, USA. The red rocks of Sedona and Arizona have always been regarded as sacred and mystical. Tourists from all over the world come to this land to experience transformation and transcendence. People have reported experiencing visions, changes in perspective, and even deliverances from interdimensional entities. But what is so mystical about Sedona that brings so many mystics to this visit? The secret lies in its red rocks and its vortexes. Surrounded by beautiful red rocks, Sedona is believed to have powerful vortexes with immense swirling energies in its center. Often, when the sun is setting behind the mountains, one can hear energy vibrations emanating from the area, creating a truly magical place filled with mystery and enlightenment. Catatumbo Lightning. Lake Maracaibo, Venezuela, is the stage for one of Earth's most electrifying spectacles. Es el rayo del Catatumbo. But what if I told you that this dazzling display is not only meteorological, but also an astronomical performance of high energy and interdimensional shift? Picture this. Every night, while people of Lake Maracaibo lay asleep, it transforms into a kaleidoscope of lightning as charged particles from another dimension seep into our world. The smooth terrain and humid climate of the land ensure the formation of energy vortexes, where electrons from far-flung realms trickle and spark spectacular lightning. The water on the lake seems to open doors to some other dimensions, creating an unimaginable spectacle of lightning. The Catatumbo lightning is not just nature's way of putting light in the darkness. Oh no, it is so much more than that. CERN, France. Welcome to the world of the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, at CERN, France, where science meets science fiction most spectacularly. Imagine an enormous man-made machine as the cosmic roller coaster, accelerating tiny particles with velocities close to the light and smashing them together in a high-energy dance-off. But here's the twist. What if this incredible machine is not just a particle accelerator? What if it's sort of a door to other worlds? Imagine if the LHC's collisions create wormholes in time and space. In this 17-mile ring, particles may be pushing open another door, allowing us a glance into parallel universes or hidden dimensions. Is the LHC capable of opening the Stargate and giving man a peek into the other worlds of the multiverse? Scientists are on a thrilling quest, testing theories and exploring the unknown, all while dancing on the edge of wonder and discovery. At CERN, the line between science and magic is tantalizingly thin. Stonehenge. Stonehenge is among the most visited megaliths in the world. It stands as a circular megalith on Salisbury Plain, the most enigmatic and revered monument in Britain. There is a lot of mystery surrounding its construction and function. This 5,000-year-old site from the Neolithic era is said to be more than an astronomical calendar or a burial ground in ancient folklore. Some believe that Stonehenge is a powerful portal to parallel universes built by the legendary wizard Merlin or even aliens. Imagine arriving in the evening at Stonehenge and stepping into the center, sensing the energy-rich history around you. When you place your foot down, you feel a gentle vibration. Whether it's a portal to the past, future, or parallel universes, Stonehenge's enigmatic presence continues to captivate and intrigue. Point Nemo. Point Nemo, or the most isolated point on the planet, is like the secret den in the heart of the South Pacific Ocean. Often referred to as the oceanic pole of inaccessibility, it is 2,688 kilometers from the nearest landmasses: Easter Island, Pitcairn Islands, and the southern tip of Chile. The waters here are often choppy and wild, adding a splash of excitement to this isolated haven. The waves act as if they are protecting something special, as if they are little storm guardians. And here's the fun part. Point Nemo is also a no-fly zone, where space organizations deactivate satellites and let spacecrafts safely crash land. It's like a cosmic junkyard. Due to its rocky shores and otherworldly associations, Point Nemo is more than just the planet's most isolated piece of water. Perhaps it is merely a wormhole to the other dimension, and the waves and astral debris transform into an amazing portal. Tianmen Mountain, Heaven's Door. Tianmen Mountain, also referred to as the Gate of the Great Temple, is one of the major tourist attractions in China. This splendid mountain is situated in Hunan province and is celebrated for the natural bridge that is 30 meters high and 40 meters wide, which is called the Heaven's Door. It is as if Tianmen Mountain is a large gateway to go up to the sky, or from the heavens to the human world. The highlight is the natural archway, a colossal, perfectly shaped hole carved into the mountain's face. It's as if the mountain has been sculpted to invite visitors into a realm of celestial beauty. The wonderful and adventurous stairs and tracks to this apostolic aperture make Tianmen Mountain the spirit of marvelous actuality, crossing the barrier between this world and some other heavenly world. The Doorway of Aramu Muru. There are many myths involving interdimensional journeys around the Doorway of Aramu Muru, which has been a popular destination for paranormal pilgrimage. This stone door, cut into a mountainside, is located near Lake Titicaca, Peru. Locally known as Puerta de Hayumaca, this gateway is rumored to connect us to other worlds. Imagine being pulled into an imposing stone structure against the backdrop of a golden sunset and reaching new connections to the cosmos. Legend has it that Incan priests and shamans possessed a golden disc to be placed in the niche, opening up a portal that led to the upper world, where gods resided. The golden disc was supposed to have dropped from the skies. It is believed that the portal opens under some circumstances and lets people through to other dimensions or hidden civilizations. The Doorway of Aramu Muru continues to intrigue with its enigmatic presence. Hidden military bases. The Nazis' fascination with Antarctica in the late 1930s led them to plan a secret trip to Dronning Maud Land. The mission's stated goal was to secure Germany's whaling interests by staking a claim on the region. But when World War II broke out, additional expeditions were put on hold, and by 1945, the claim had been given up. When the German U-boat U-530 appeared at the Mar del Plata naval base in Argentina in July 1945, there were reports that Adolf Hitler and other senior Nazi officials had fled to Antarctica. The U-boat sailors were arrested and questioned, but no proof emerged to support the rumors. The story of the Nazi station in the Antarctic has been repeated and enhanced. Some say it was constructed in a warm, lake-filled sanctuary free of ice, while others include purported geothermal caverns under the ice. No proof of a Nazi base during the war has ever been discovered, despite thorough investigation. There's still one unanswered question. Are there any more surprises waiting to be discovered beneath the Antarctic ice? Alien and monster activity. Many myths and conspiracy theories have been made about Antarctica. Some even claim the presence of a terrifying organism known as Organism 46B. This monster, who the Russians said had amazing powers, was taken prisoner and later taken into confiscation. According to a different mythology, the Nazis established a covert station in Antarctica towards the close of World War II and launched sophisticated planes that looked like UFOs. Some theorists say that alien technology was used to create these UFOs and that their spacecraft was launched from Antarctica. Additionally, there are legends concerning prehistoric pyramids or submerged civilizations that could represent the remains of an advanced civilization, possibly Atlantis. Skeptics counter that these tales are merely that, stories. In 1938-1939, the Nazis carried out an expedition to the Antarctic, although their efforts were restricted to mapping and surveying the area. Nunataks and other naturally occurring geological formations account for a large number of reported sightings. Antarctica is still a site of scientific research rather than conspiracy, notwithstanding these riddles. Ancient civilizations. Numerous ice sheets that reach depths of over a mile can be found in Antarctica, the world's coldest and most hostile continent. The extreme cold of Antarctica has long led traditional geologists to conclude that ancient humans never resided there. However, in 2016, satellite photographs showed a strange formation growing from the ice that some researchers speculate could be a man-made pyramid. With their precisely square bases measuring 2 kilometers square in each direction, these pyramids resemble those in Egypt and beg the question of how and by whom such a large edifice was constructed in Antarctica. German geologists gathered core samples from the frozen Antarctic seafloor in 2017 in order to examine the environment of the continent's prehistoric past. In a climate resembling that of modern-day northern Italy, they found over 60 different genera of plants resembling those seen in a rainforest. The curiosity of what more amazing treasures lurk beneath the vast, icy expanse of Antarctica persists as these breakthroughs come to light. Secret experiments. Many ideas and studies regarding covert scientific and medical operations have been conducted in Antarctica, a far-off and isolated continent. According to these beliefs, a number of countries, including powerful ones, have carried out trials in the area, including everything from cutting-edge medical research to sophisticated biological investigations. According to certain theories, scientists have altered human DNA to produce superhuman traits that can withstand the extreme conditions found in Antarctica. According to some beliefs, scientists have researched organisms that can endure in the most extreme environments. This could have implications for bioweaponry as well as groundbreaking medicinal cures. International agreements and complex security procedures ensure the secrecy surrounding these purported experiments. Nevertheless, hard proof is still rare. These ideas are dismissed by detractors as imaginations based on human isolation and a tendency to think about the unknown. Advocates of these hypotheses contend that Antarctica is the ideal place for a covert laboratory, citing previous examples of covert government operations carried out in isolated areas. The tragedy. In January 1912, 2 British explorers led by Robert Falcon Scott embarked on an epic journey into the unknown depths of the Antarctic wasteland. Scott's meticulous plan, rooted in scientific inquiry into the unforgiving Antarctic cycles, seemed to pave their path forward. However, fate held a different course. Scott's strategy was one of perseverance through sheer force, hauling them across the treacherous Ross Ice Shelf, Beardmore Glacier, and finally, to the polar plateau. Meanwhile, Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen and his team of skiers and sled dogs awaited their moment. As the British trudged on, their swift and strategic advance towards the pole began to unsettle Scott. The Norwegian flag fluttered defiantly in the frigid Antarctic breeze, marking Amundsen's triumph and Scott's heartbreak. As the trek back, now a race against encroaching winter, Scott's party faced a grim reality. Temperatures plummeted to deadly depths, claiming lives one by one. Scott and his remaining companions, trapped by a blizzard, held their stories, journals, and haunting final photographs. Scott's legacy, once celebrated as the epitome of exploration, now bears the weight of tragic miscalculation. The photograph, intended as a respectful acknowledgement of defeat, instead became a harrowing testament to human frailty and the unyielding cruelty of Antarctica's frozen heart. Uninhabited locations. 4 species can be found in East Antarctica's Deep Lake, a deep, salty lake that is dominated by the mysterious Archaea lineage. Metagenomics analysis of the lake's microbial zoo shows metabolic wonders, acclimated to the frigid grasp of existence. This adaptation is best demonstrated by the dominating haloarchaeal species, Tadel, which travels across summertime sunny shallows propelled by gas vesicles. Their cold-adapted enzymes hold the key to biotechnological wonders, like microorganisms from Antarctica, purifying water or accelerating industrial changes. Archaea now challenges the limits of life itself and influences our knowledge of survival and adaptation. Is it feasible that there are still unidentified living forms in this incredibly deep lake that can withstand extreme conditions? These kinds of discoveries might help some scientists move their research forward. Is there another reason why traveling to Antarctica is challenging? Mysterious Lake Vostok. Would it bother you if I told you that life had been discovered concealed behind the glacier at the bottom of the deepest lake in Antarctica? As if that weren't enough, researchers have found DNA that is unlike anything they have ever seen, which has led them to speculate that it may be extraterrestrial, possibly from Mars. With at least 22 chambers, Lake Vostok is a subglacial behemoth that scientists have found in Antarctica. Russian scientist Peter Kropotkin first hypothesized this mysterious underworld, which has been sealed off from the outside world for at least 15 million years in the late 19th century. Scientists from Britain and Russia worked together to confirm Lake Vostok's existence in 1991. In order to get water samples, mankind broke through to this alien planet in 2012 by drilling 3,770 meters. The subglacial colossus's DNA revealed a wealth of life supported by chemical reactions in rocks. The real nature of Vostok's occupants is still up for debate. Some propose complex organisms, while others propose a distinct genetic makeup that may represent Martian life. Gravitational phenomenon. An unexplained force has been found in the heart of Antarctica that pulls everything toward it and drags down all courageous sailors. Do you believe that this is the reason the government forbids us from visiting Antarctica because they are concerned about us? Weird bacteria. Antarctica is home to a diverse array of ancient microorganisms, including bacteria, microalgae, and extremophiles, which play a crucial role in the Southern Ocean's ecosystem. These resilient life forms, primarily in the lower layers, are responsible for the food chain in these remote waters. Researchers have been studying the mechanisms of photosynthesis among these microbes for 2 decades, uncovering a novel form of light harvesting called rhodopsin photobiology. As the seasons shift and ice recedes, Antarctica experiences a dramatic transformation, fueling phytoplankton blooms and supporting marine life. These ancient microorganisms are vital to sustaining the delicate balance of the Southern Ocean's food web. Do you believe that scientists will be able to merge the traits of bacteria with human beings in order to boost endurance and lengthen lifespans now that they have discovered how they thrive and how resilient they are? Ghost mountains. Antarctica is home to a network of hidden volcanoes, including Mount Erebus, an active volcano. Scientists have discovered a vast network of subglacial volcanoes beneath the ice, which have been active for millions of years and can melt vast quantities of ice. Recent advances using radar technology have allowed scientists to glimpse beneath the ice, capturing detailed images akin to an MRI of the mountains. Scientists working for the government do not want adventurers to disturb them while studying these fascinating, diverse geographical phenomena, all found in one place. Or is there something more to it? 7. Bleeding glacier. Antarctica's unforgiving and capricious environment presents formidable risks to the unprepared. Bleeding glaciers, where liquid water intertwines with ice, foster precarious conditions that amplify the peril of accidents and injuries. Antarctica's dry valleys, a mere 1% of the continent, is home to the enigmatic Blood Falls, a geological marvel with a crimson hue. Fed by saline waters, Blood Falls is evidence of a long-hidden tale buried deep beneath the Antarctic ice sheet. Scientists like Jill McCookie and Peter Doran study life in these extreme environments, finding microscopic organisms adapted to survive in darkness, cold, and saline-rich waters. The discovery of Blood Falls has sparked scientific inquiry into its origins and ecological significance. The discovery of interconnected groundwater systems beneath this seemingly barren landscape has profound implications for understanding how life can persist in extreme conditions. As scientists continue to explore Blood Falls and its surroundings, they are gaining insights into the potential for life on other icy worlds in our solar system. 12. Geopolitical tensions. Antarctica, a vast landmass buried beneath ice, has been a subject of territorial claims among several nations for over a century. The saga of Antarctic territorial claims begins with historical voyages of exploration and exploitation, with the United Kingdom, Norway, Chile, Argentina, and France all asserting sovereignty over the continent. The Antarctic Treaty of 1959 emerged as a diplomatic framework aimed at preserving Antarctica for peaceful scientific research, but it leaves existing claims unresolved. Today, Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, Norway, Chile, Argentina, and France maintain formal territorial assertions over Antarctica, each invoking historical precedents, early exploratory activities, or geographical connections to justify their claims. The future of Antarctic governance remains uncertain as questions persist about the equitable stewardship of Antarctica's vast resources, including its substantial freshwater reserves, crucial for global climate stability. Whether through enhanced international cooperation under United Nations auspices or the continuation of the Antarctic Treaty's status quo, the world faces a critical juncture in balancing scientific discovery with environmental conservation in Earth's last true wilderness. Environmental protection. Antarctica, a continent dedicated to peace and scientific collaboration, is a vital part of the Antarctic Treaty System. Its pristine wilderness, dominated by glaciers and mountains, is a beacon of stewardship guided by the Environmental Protocol. Antarctica's melting ice sheets contribute to rising sea levels and regulate global climate patterns. The continent's unique position as a sentinel for global change is illustrated by its early observations of the ozone hole, which alerted the world to industrial chemical dangers. The Antarctic Treaty and Environmental Protocol embodies a collective commitment to preserve Antarctica, prohibiting mining and mineral exploitation, establishing stringent environmental impact assessment guidelines, and mandating waste management protocols. As global challenges like climate change intensify, Antarctica's importance grows, necessitating sustained scientific vigilance and international cooperation. Preserving Antarctica is not just about safeguarding a remote wilderness, but also about safeguarding our collective future through international collaboration and environmental management. Number 4. Climate change. Antarctica, Earth's icy cloak, is facing a perilous transformation as scientists warn of an alarming rate of melting ice. Currently, there are 900,000 square miles of missing sea ice, a record low that has persisted all year. This decline is driven by rising ocean temperatures and warmer air, causing global sea levels to rise. Since the 1990s, these levels have increased by 1.8 centimeters due to melting ice in Greenland and Antarctica. Projections for the end of the century are even more alarming, with the accelerating thaw expected to add another 17 centimeters to sea levels, putting an additional 16 million people worldwide at risk of annual coastal flooding. If we fail to achieve net zero carbon emissions by mid-century, the current signs of distress in Antarctica will pale in comparison to the potential future cataclysm, threatening not only the continent, but the entire planet. Natural resources. Antarctica, a frozen desert on Earth, is a land filled with untold wealth and resources, untouched by human greed. The Antarctic Treaty, an international pact, forbids any mineral resource activity south of the 60th parallel except for scientific research. Despite its isolation, up to 5,000 transient souls reside in the region, scattered across remote research stations representing 32 countries. The treaty was signed in 1959 to preserve the continent for peaceful use, but tensions remained. During the oil crises of the 1970s, nations conducted geological surveys, searching for black gold beneath the ice. The 1988 Convention on the Regulation of Antarctic Mineral Resource Activities, CRAMRA, faced opposition from environmentalists and certain governments, leading to its rejection. The 1991 Madrid Protocol emerged, banning all mineral resource activities to preserve Antarctica's pristine wilderness. Russia has discovered an estimated 500 billion barrels of oil beneath the Antarctic Peninsula, causing nations to reconsider their commitments. Extracting oil remains a Herculean task due to the continent's ice, blizzards, icebergs, and logistical nightmare. The Antarctic Treaty faces a crucial test in 2048, potentially opening the door to mining. As global trust erodes and resource nationalism rises, the once unthinkable scenario of drilling in Antarctica grows more plausible. Ancient fossils. Antarctica, once a lush rainforest, is now a frozen desert, but millions of years ago, it bore no resemblance to the icy wasteland we see today. The discovery of fossilized wood and impressions of tropical leaves has revealed secrets of a prehistoric rainforest that once thrived in Antarctica's balmy embrace. Scientists have also discovered fossils from marine animals, birds, and dinosaurs of the Cretaceous period, painting a vivid picture of a lost world. Fossilized forewings of a beetle species found between 14 and 20 million years ago stand as silent testimony to the continent's verdant past. The hole. Do you really believe that giant holes up to 80,000 square kilometers in size can just appear overnight? At least, that's what the government is saying. Antarctica's icy expanse revealed a startling discovery in 2017. A colossal void known as a polynya, the largest seen since the 1970s. Spanning 78,000 square kilometers, this abyss emerged mysteriously due to warmer, saltier waters, the government says, pushed upward by powerful currents in the Weddell Sea of the Southern Ocean. The government attributes its sudden appearance to natural forces, but doubts linger about its true origins. Scientists are baffled by the polynya's formation, pondering whether marine creatures, atmospheric anomalies, or oceanic dynamics hold the key. Concerns mount over their ecological ramifications as polynyas alter local climates and influence global weather patterns. Underground tunnels. Antarctica, one of the most extreme and unexplored environments on Earth, has been the subject of a recent controversy over a video claiming to be part of a tunnel that extends to Antarctica from Argentina. The video, titled Cueva de Jimbo, is located in the Andorra Valley, within the Tierra del Fuego National Park in southern Argentina. Regardless, some experts in Antarctic research have thought that there is no such tunnel, as it would have to cross Drake Passage, a dangerous body of water. The claim is based on ignorance of geology and Argentine national hubris. The tunnel's existence is a topic of debate among experts. Meteorites. Antarctica is a treasure trove of celestial relics, with meteorites being uniquely preserved and easily discovered in the icy expanse of the continent. The harsh, cold, and arid conditions of Antarctica act as a natural vault, safeguarding these rocky fragments from the ravages of time. In East Antarctica, the vast ice sheet remains relatively undisturbed, revealing the ancient ice below. Since 1976, intrepid explorers have unearthed over 20,000 extraterrestrial meteorite samples from this frozen land. As scientists continue to explore Antarctica's frozen expanses, they unravel the mysteries of space one meteorite at a time, revealing the secrets of the stars and the mysteries of the universe. Mystery sounds. Antarctica is a land of mystery, with its icy expanses concealing secrets from the dawn of time. Antarctica is also a canvas for cosmic whispers, where the past and present intertwine. Scientists drilled through thick ice, delving 450 feet below the surface to study ancient air, which produced eerie, otherworldly sounds when a block of ice was dropped into the hole. The Doppler effect transformed the simple act into a symphony of mysterious, shifting pitches, leaving scientists baffled. Beneath the ice, Antarctica's hidden secrets continue to intrigue. Scientists have discovered 91 volcanoes, many buried under thick ice sheets, forming potentially the world's most extensive volcanic region. These samples reveal that Antarctica's western ice sheet melted during past warm periods, hinting at possible future scenarios. No matter how skillfully and exhaustively it is studied, humanity is still in awe of this enormous, icy hidden treasure. You'll have a better understanding of Antarctica's significance and humanity's ongoing competition for it after learning about some of the findings that were previously highlighted. Antarctica has a wealth of undiscovered minerals, fossilized riches, ancient rainforests, and mysteries surrounding its frigid depths. These secrets enthrall both scientists and explorers. Researchers are drawn to this frozen expanse by the attraction of discovering the unknown, despite the severe and unfriendly conditions. This drive to comprehend and safeguard this special and essential portion of our world keeps them going. Thanks for watching. Remember to press the bell icon, like, and subscribe for more amazing insights into the most mysterious locations on Earth.